Welcome to Boots in Baltimore. I'm LeeAnn Blanchard. I'm sitting here with Debonette Wyatt and Tia Hamilton, co-owners of My Mama's Vegan. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
So, first things first, is your mama actually vegan?
My mother is nowhere near vegan.
And my mom is negative. She eats the pork.
So, how did you come up with that name?
It came to me in my sleep. Really? Yeah, it came to me in my sleep, so that's when I knew that was the name. I have no idea. I just dreamt it.
Okay. And now your dreams come true.
Absolutely.
So, you have burgers and tacos and subs and everything that you would normally associate with meat. How do you make it vegan?
Well, there are a lot of,
First of all, I've been asking that same thing. So this is interesting to find out.
so there are a lot of meat alternatives that are already packaged. Like you have Beyond Meat, you have Impossible. There's so many different brands that you can already purchase pre-packaged, and that's really good for those who really don't know how to make their meats and alternatives from scratch. But then you can also use mushroom, you can use jackfruit, you can use walnut meat. So there's so many different alternatives that you can use to make your items vegan. You just don't use any dairy and you don't use any meat.
A lot of it's about that taste and texture.
Yes.
And as long as it's seasoned.
Seasoning is the key.
Okay. All right. So, what is your most famous or most popular dish? What gets ordered most often?
My meatballs.
Not meatballs.
She knows I don't play about my meatballs. I'll be like, where the meatballs? But no, our most popular dish, cheesesteak sub.
And the bourbon burger.
The bourbon, I was going to say Gouda.
That too.
Yeah, I was going to say the Gouda burger and cheesesteak sub. Oh, and the chicken cheesesteaks are popular.
Okay. Just for everyone at home, it's like 11:30, starving. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's good. Now, I had a problem eating different vegan restaurants because I didn't like the taste.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, this got to be for a special person to eat because I don't know how people eating this. But then when I met Dad, and they try to feed that, that's when she was across the street, they try to feed it over here on me, right? So her son will bring me a fish sub. I said, okay. It don't taste like it, but it still tastes like it. Then my son went and got me rib tips with jerk cabbage and peas and rice. Perfect. I'm a fan of the jerk cabbage, hands down. So then when she moved in here, I started eating it. The cheesesteak, perfect. The burger, perfect. So this is the only vegan food I eat.
When done well,
Yes.
it's amazing.
Yes.
When done poorly, you crave meat.
It's horrible.
It can be, when done poorly, it can really be a disservice because then people don't want to try it again.
Right.
Like you're one and done. You know, and it's going to take a lot to convince them. Like you really would have to be in their face and say, no, really try it, because they're not going to go out on their own typically and try it again because they've had such a bad experience. Number one, it's already challenging because of the word vegan. So in their mind, they're thinking about all the things they can't have. And then number two, they tried it and they can't stand it. It was disgusting. It's going to be hard to win them back over.
And plus, when I meet people been vegan for 30, 40 years. And so when I'm looking, I watch the Cosby Show on Different World every morning. And I look back, Denise Huxtable and Sandra was vegan. You know what I'm saying?
Back when it wasn't anything good.
I don't know how they did it.
I don't know how they were surviving. But I looked and I'd be like, dang, I grew up on this show. And they were already preaching clean eating and health and all of that stuff on the Cosby Show. So I was like, wow. So now I can really see why people were vegan for that long, because it's been big. It's been a lifestyle. Now it's just popular and more people getting into it, like myself.
Dragged tooth and nail.
Yes. Oh yeah. Now listen, she'll tell you, because I smell everything. I look at it weird. I lift it up and I look at it. I inspect it. I do that with all food. It ain't just vegan. I do that with everything. If I'm not familiar, I'm inspecting it. So then she gave me a taco one day. I literally took that taco apart, smelling it. Like, what's in here? What is this? And she was not answering my questions. So then I took a little small bite. And I was like, all right. I took a bigger bite and I liked it.
Oh.
I like it. So she's been working on me.
So can people order for delivery and takeout?
Yes, you can order on Grubhub, DoorDash, Uber Eats, and call in for takeout orders.
Awesome. Okay, so you also offer meal prep. How does that work?
Well, the meal prep is a specialized service, so we kind of do it when we have the time to be able to do it, when it's like a little bit of a slower period. So right now, that has been taken off of the books because we're just getting ready to move. We have a lot going on. But when we do meal prep, it's posted onto the menu, onto the website, and they can go ahead and they can order a 7-day, 5 meals, or a 10-day plan. And you order it and you can pick it up. We don't offer delivery at the time. But right now, so that is a specialized service. So somebody would really kind of have to email us if they're interested in something like that. If we have the time, we could work with them and their dietary needs and stuff like that. But we do offer that.
That's amazing. I think that's awesome. So if you're looking for something not make it yourself at home, actually finished for you, but as you said, clean eating.
And the meal preps typically are more than just our sandwiches that we offer. There might be some raw vegan meals in there. There's some salads. There's a little bit more healthier options. You know, vegan, just because you're vegan, that doesn't always mean that you eat healthy because you cannot have hamburgers and cheesesteaks and those types of things every day. So the meal prep service really is for somebody, like you said, who doesn't want to cook or who is new to the lifestyle and they have no idea where to begin. This kind of helps get them through the transition.
Because vegan doesn't necessarily mean low calorie.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because there are vegan people who eat vegan who don't get protein.
Wow.
Oh yeah. They got protein deficiency.
Wow.
So that's a lot. You know, it's a lot of components to being vegan and learning those components. Because people think that I'm going to eat that and I'm going to be good. No, a lot of people going to the hospital for bone deficiency and all of that kind of things because they're not getting protein. And you still got to get that too. That's how your body stay healthy.
And so it does take a lot of work to figure it out.
Absolutely.
And it costs more
To be vegan.
to be healthy.
To be healthy. Yes. That is true.
Healthy.
That's very true. Which is a shame because it should be the other way around because a lot of the things that you eat are from the earth, are from the ground. So why do we have to pay so much for fresh vegetables and fresh fruits and things that we grow? It shouldn't be that way.
Well, you're clearly both very passionate about it. What got you interested in the vegan diet? I mean, obviously, you got interested because you were first interested, but how did you decide to become vegan?
Well, when I had my daughter, who is now 10, I had gained a lot of weight. And it was very difficult to get it off. And I went to have a physical, and my doctor was like, okay, your blood pressure is high, you have this going on, you have that going on. And I was getting ready to start a food business, and we were going to do spare ribs and baked macaroni and cheese and all this soul food. And I was like, wait a minute, people can't eat this every day because they're going to die. So as I started working on myself, I started working on, I was starting with meal prep. I started doing meal prep and helping other people eat healthy. So when the pandemic happened, I was in a shared kitchen space and I did healthier options. So I still did chicken, I still did fish, and I had a very small vegan plant-based menu. So when the pandemic happened, I noticed that our regular menu, people weren't ordering it as much. They really wanted the vegan food. So when I left the ghost kitchen, because the lease was up and got the space at the corner, I made the decision to just make it 100% vegan restaurant because I was eating different. The people, it's obviously what they wanted. So we decided to do no cross-contamination. We were not going to sell chicken and fish in the same restaurant as the vegan restaurant because that is important. It makes it easy for cross-contamination. And people can die. If somebody has a certain type of allergy and you can't always depend on your team to be 100% efficient with everything, even though you would like them to, mistakes still do happen. So that is just one thing that we said, let's just scratch that and go and make it 100% vegan.
And I think that makes it a little bit more welcoming for people who are really hardcore about being vegan.
Oh, yeah.
They don't want meat around. They don't want to see that, smell that, all. Yeah. So the demand was there, and you've answered.
And let's talk about how we in Baltimore, the seafood lovers.
Oh my gosh.
And I tell Deb all the time, we have to keep that seafood salad on the shelf all year long. It will sell. You know, like this is the home of the seafood. So if they can't get that regular crab, they can come get that vegan crab, that vegan lobster roll, or something like that that can suffice that option for them. And I think we like the only vegan restaurant that's
we are one.
popping like that.
Oh.
On that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other vegan restaurants that do like your traditional crab cake and stuff like that. They try to do a few, different shrimp dishes, but I think coming in as a non-vegan, for me it was about, like Tia just said, some of my favorite things. And those favorite things happen to be a lot of people's favorite things. So we really do try to capture, like you said, with our lobster roll. We have a seafood pasta salad. We have a lobster and seafood salad, with mock lobster and mock shrimp. So we do a shrimp lo mein. We do so many different things. So we do try to keep true to
We
what
do the
Baltimore
fish
represents. Yep.
So, how did you two meet?
Our sons met first.
Okay.
Because like Tia said, Kyrie, I came in, when she first opened, she wasn't here. I came in and I got some things and I knew she was in here. And then I met her through a mutual friend at one point. We just had a kind of a quick conversation. But our sons really met first. My son would come down here and like you said, he would bring her food and he would buy books. Now her son always came up the street. And my son would always tell me, Mom, the lady that owns the bookstore, her son comes up here and he gets food all the time. And then, I don't know after that.
How did you decide to collaborate?
Well, Tia was here before me. And she was always having events. And then I was on the corner. And we kind of always did the same thing with community-wise, being involved in the community. And then at this point, my mom is vegan. It was just being so overwhelmed because I did not have a partner at the time. And 9 employees and doing everything yourself. So you know what that looks like. And I was just drained. Like being in business the 2 years there, it felt like 10. So I'm like, man, wait a minute. Either I'm never going to open again or we need to, like, seriously. I'm going to drive past every day. I'm like, is this the day that I just say I'm not opening these doors ever again? So it was like, okay, what makes sense? Tia had the cafe over here, and she would get it going, you know what I mean? But it wasn't to where she wanted it, consistently somebody. So I just called her one day, and I just laid the cards out, and I was like, look, this is what's going on with me. Do you have room for me? Can we collaborate and work this out? She was like, yes. So it started off as a collaboration. Then I went out of town for about 15 months because just needed a whole woosah. So probably a few months into that, I was like, people wanted to buy My Mama's Vegan. Like, people wanted to buy it and everything. I just brought it back to the table and see it again. Like, hey, would you be interested in partnering with me? And Tia said yes. She said yes to the collaboration. She said yes to partnership. And she did great. She had no restaurant experience. And she was ordering things, and she was working with the staff. But she did amazing. And it was so refreshing because in this time, like, teams win and collaborations win, but we always talk about it. In the end of it, in the thick of it, in the middle of it, it's so disheartening when things fall apart. And we haven't had any issues. She did have one issue with me initially in the beginning. She was like, girl, if you don't communicate with me.
But fixable. Very fixable.
It is. And but I was just so tired. And the other part was her and being understanding of that and not having an attitude. This girl ain't answering my phone. She's not picking up my text. She understood where I was, and she picked up the slack for me, and that's so important in partnerships, because there's going to be times when, like, she has to go on the road a lot, so You know, it's like I already know what I'm dedicated to and what I need to do and pick up where she is, you know, and that's important. And through this partnership of all this time, you know, everything we've done, we haven't had any major issue, but everything is fixable because we just talk and lay our cards out on the table.
I love
It's
it.
the hustler's mentality.
Yes. Yes. And when you find someone who has your back
Yeah.
and can support you in the way that you need to be supported, it's so much better also to share it with someone.
And my kind is the dying breed. Okay. Let's be clear. I'm almost 50.
Yeah.
Our kind is
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah.
If you're not meeting our kind at
Yeah.
this moment, in this space, at
Yeah.
this age,
Yeah.
you can forget about it. Anything after 40, maybe 45, for real. Because people just looking out for self now. It's not about teamwork or team building or how can I bring you up or how can I help you or how can I be around and be a part and be sincere and graceful for that. And I'm just a hustler though. You know what I'm saying? I come from the streets. So the streets raised me to build my business. And I already knew what she was doing. She was trying to do something in Florida and she was also running away, but in peace, to rechannel her mind, her energy, and everything else. And I just had to figure it out. And there's nothing for a hustler to figure it out. And that's what I did. And I'm happy she's back.
It's better with your partner.
I did it for a year. I did it for a year, year and a half. I wanted to strangle a few people. I wanted to put them in headlocks. And I wanted to just shut the store down. But I knew that I had to get up every morning and keep pushing. And that's what we did. And now we on to, it's the testament of faith though. Because when God sends you through something and you prove that your faith and you got faith in Him and that you still push through all the adversity and the adversary things that kept coming up against us, man, the blessing is coming. And that's why we about to open up in Lexington Market.
I was just going to ask. So you're expanding into another location.
Yes.
Tell us more.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we downsized. So when we came over here, we downsized our menu. You know, we just did burgers and subs. We tried to keep it something that is simple, that's manageable, because we have a really established brand. People really know us, they love us, and we didn't want to damage that. But we also knew that we couldn't continue, like Tia said, to continue to survive in this space that we're in, because it only really is to just keep us relevant, just to keep our name out there. So now we have 2 other partners, and we're opening up Lexington Market, and we get to go back to a full menu with teamwork. So I have brought in a good friend of mine, Chef D Cupsy Bell, and she was our vegan baker up the street, and she also was with me when I was in my home. And Tia brought in
Kermit, a friend of mine, a great friend of mine for over 13 years, very business oriented, very detailed in business, and definitely is about the black economy and bringing wealth into black communities, black businesses, and black families. And we just formed, we had a meeting, we just formed the alliance, and like everything is working. Everything clicking on cylinders, and we just got something going good, and we're not going to mess it up.
Well, I love that. It's about creating a legacy enterprise that's there for you and your kids. It's about creating jobs. It's about creating a stable neighborhood where you
Yes.
have active businesses. People can come and it's safe and fun.
And he's the only guy.
Mm-hmm.
The good thing about this is that none of us have a bigger ego than the next. I know when to fall back. He knows when to fall back. Deb knows when to fall back. Everybody know where to go and when to activate. And that's how I like it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to be micromanaging nobody. I don't need to be over like, yo, you didn't do this today, or don't forget to send me this. None of that. Everything has been clicking because we all business owners. And that's the joy in it too. By us all being business owners, we already know what we needed separately. Now we bringing all that stuff together to impact in a bigger impactful way.
So Lexington Market, when does that open?
Our target date is August the 7th. We should really be open August the 7th.
That's my birthday.
Oh,
Oh, yes, that's
happy
our birthday.
I wish she had stopped saying that. I am going to be somewhere doing cigars and bourbon.
That night. We close at 6 o'clock. Okay? But if we can open up earlier than that, we'll probably do just like a little soft open, you know what I mean? Just so we can, you know, everybody can feel their way around the kitchen, around the space, and around what they're doing. Because we already know once the date, I mean, they're already asking, like, when are you guys opening?
Listen, we set the social media on fire between me, Deb, and Kerm. Like, Kerm even took a step further. He went in all the vegan groups, all the black groups. He went in all the places where veganism is happening. And he really set it up on flames. So everybody calling, everybody want to know, everybody emailing, everybody is excited because Lexington Market don't have this until now. So we are bringing something different to Lexington. It's something all the restaurants in Lexington can't wait for us to come because they be getting people asking them about those vegan options. Now they can say go downstairs next to Sunnyside Cafe and you can get all the vegan you want. So it's just a blessing that we here. Shout out to Lexington Market for making it happen and working with us and pushing us through. So shout out to them. And just check us out on social media at My Mama's Vegan and the website because all these announcements will be there if you just check it out.
Okay. So if people do want to order, should they call? Should they order online?
If they want to order, our summer hours are 4 to 10 Wednesday through Saturday, as of right now, and then
4 to 10 Wednesday through Friday.
Yes, thank
12
you.
to 10 on Saturday.
Yes, thank you. And they can order online during those times as well, and they can also walk in and place an order, and they can sit down and they can eat, enjoy the atmosphere, check out a book. Got some chakra healing going on, sea moss.
Awesome. Well, thank you ladies so much. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
having
for
us.
taking the time to come and chop it up with us today. Oh, and we got sea moss because I know vegan people love sea moss.
All right. Well, we've been talking about food long enough. I'm going to go try some. And I'll post my review. This is Boots in Baltimore, LeeAnn Blanchard. Come check out My Mama's Vegan.